Welcome back, all of you. I hope you enjoyed the first video where we did a short discussion on what is leadership. But of course, that was a very, very basic run through of the subject in itself. And I think there's going to be a lot more to talk about in that. I mean, leadership is something that humans have been, humans and animals actually. If anyone's a fan of animal shows, you'll see lions, wolves, even chickens, believe it or not, will show leadership skills when they are the top chicken, the top lion. I mean, if you want to go and watch some of the great documentaries, Dynasties, if anyone will be watching that on the BBC, absolutely fantastic, talking about the various hierarchies of the animals, you will see some good leadership skills. Although I would suggest humans are a bit more complicated than some of our animal friends. Now, what I'm going to talk to you today, as promised, is my 10 leadership principles. Now, I've had to do it that way around, particularly because someone took the mickey out of me because they said, why are you doing it that way? And of course I realised I was doing it to myself rather than the camera. So I'm going to talk about my 10 top leadership principles today, very shortly, and I'm going to keep them very quick, because what we're going to do in the future is we're going to deep dive into every single principle over the next few weeks. And I would really like to hear what you guys think about that. And I'm going to also use some examples as well, and use this as a framework to assess different leaders that you might be aware of. So if you want to see someone assessed as a leader, maybe you want to see Captain America assessed as a leader. I will be doing a lot of Marvel and superhero ones, I suspect, because they're interesting. Let me know. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, principle number 1, be there. Now, okay, you might be saying, well, Nick, that's an obvious one. How can you be a leader if you're not there? That's the point. Quite literally, it's as simple as that, the first principle. One thing you'll notice about every great leader that you've ever thought of or seen or known is that they were present at the time that they needed to demonstrate leadership. That's what makes a great leader, is that they're there to lead. You can't lead if you're not there at the moment you're needed, and that's really quite critical. Now, the moments you're needed, of course, are all very different. And I suppose the question there might be, well, how do you know you're needed? Well, one of the things you can't do is avoid the difficult parts of any activity or any program, or avoid the difficult moments that you can see coming. And that's how you know when you need to be there. Because a good leader who's in touch with their team will know exactly when they're needed, because most likely their team will tell them if you're not there at the right moment. And let me give you a really good example. Sometimes there are difficult people in the world and they have to be dealt with. And that might be a conversation, it could be a phone call, it could be an email, it could be an intervention in some way where you're having to go and address someone's poor behaviors or the actions of someone outside the team who's causing your team problems. You have to be there to act when those issues come up. If you're not there, you're not a leader. And people who are appointed to positions but aren't actual leaders, what they do is they make sure they're not there. They might leave it to you. A really good example is when someone says, you tell me what I can do to help you get this task done. And you give them a very specific answer. You say, well, this person is blocking. I need you to go and unblock it for me. That's what I need. Oh no, I think you can do that yourself. A good leader knows when they should be there to act, and they should be present at the moment where their team needs support, where people need to be led. So that's the first principle. You have to be there. The second principle is to have a purpose. Now, those of you that follow Simon Sinek will be very, very familiar with the concept of purpose. But people have to know why they should lead you. People don't just lead you out of the sake of it. You know, okay, great, you're there, brilliant, that's fantastic. Are you adding any value? Is your personality helping the team achieve the goal? Are you unblocking things? Why should people bother to follow you? It's really, really a great question. If you don't know why your purpose of being there to lead is, then why on earth would people bother to follow you in the first place? Now that's really a difficult thing for everyone to get their head around in some ways, because if you don't know what your why is, then other people certainly aren't going to bother following you. Why should I follow the direction you're going? I mean, remember what we talked about in the first video. We said, what is leadership? And leadership is taking you on a journey to go somewhere. Well, why are we going somewhere? What is the point of being here? What is the purpose of us being in this team, in this activity, in your team, following you as a leader? And you need to define what that purpose is. And it's got to be something bigger than you. It's got to be something bigger than you. It can't just be, well, you know, you're here to help elevate my career. Oh, great. That's brilliant. I'm really looking forward to getting out of bed tomorrow to help you succeed. That sounds brilliant. Thank you very much for that. There's a lot of people in appointed leadership positions who think your job is to help them achieve their goals. That's not what a leader is there for. A leader is there to serve those who work for them. You are a servant for your service is leadership. So know what your purpose is, have a reason to be there, and make sure people know getting out of bed in the morning to come into work, to follow you, is worthwhile. There's a bigger purpose, other than just making some money and helping you get to where you want to go.